Before we get going into the video, my name is Brando for the new viewers. I'm the founder of Brandlux Media. We are an e-commerce growth agency. We've been able and so fortunate to work with 100 plus partners. And so the reason I started this channel is to document every framework that I know is proven to work and that actually work so that you can get some value from it and, hopefully make your business a success. With no further ado, I hope you enjoy this video. In this video, I'm going to bring you through the exact ads, creative, and landing page infrastructure of a business that is currently generating between $25,000 and $30,000 per day in sales on Shopify. And we're actually in the process of scaling. Actually, tomorrow is Black Friday, so it's been consistent at around $20,000-$30,000 a day in sales. I'm going to show you in just a second exactly their ad account and what they're doing and their Shopify dashboard. But let's get into it because I have a lot to cover. Once again, ads, creatives, and landing page infrastructure and how we set it up, where we take inspiration from other brands. And let's get it going. We have a lot to cover. Cool, as I always do, let's get through the proof. As you can see, this is the 25th of November. This is when they generated $27,900. Let me just refresh so you know this is real. And I'm actually going to show you also some recent days because I decided the title of this video is like set the 25th, and then I ended up not doing it. And for some reason, I didn't change it. So let me just do like, I don't know, yesterday, for example. Yesterday was 29,000, which was, the day before, I believe was, 25,000. So it kind of goes up and down, but like right now between these days, we've kind of stabilized. The 25th and the 27th, we've stabilized. Let's see how we're doing today. I know it's still 7 a.m., but so far 8% better compared to the day before. So, and as you can see, conversion rate is going up, and that's completely normal because we're approaching Black Friday. But this is a business that was doing quite well already, and now we're just really ramping it up. Hopefully, we scale the brand to like $70,000 or $100,000 a day in sales through Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then we can still stabilize it between 20 and 30,000, kind of like these numbers a day in sales through the month of December, and then also, of course, hopefully moving forward as well. What I want to show you over here is pretty much go through a couple of things, a couple of really important things. What I want to do in this video is actually just pretty much, I cannot unfortunately disguise the name of the brand. It's within our contracts. I cannot do that, but I'm going to share some inspirations and some specific 8-figure brands that are really doing well that we take inspiration from. And the reason I'm showing you those companies specifically, which I'm going to do in just a second, is because those companies, they're not in the same industry at all based on what we sell with this client, but the product is like really, really similar. So that's all I can tell you. And so everything that I'm showing you is basically what my team does to take inspiration from direct competitors. But before we do that, I want to talk about the ad account very, very quickly. Okay, the ad account structure that we use is kind of like more on the old style, and let me just read you what I have over here. Although we typically scale with CBO, we noticed that for this particular account, this particular client and brand, ABO campaigns were just performing better, and we kind of went back and forth, and for some reason this account performed quite well. And although CBO campaigns tend to do better for scaling, which is what we've seen at least over the last, especially over the last 12 months, we've learned that the aspect that matters the most is focusing on marketing, creatives, and angles, which is what we're going to discuss in this video. So I'm not going to go too much in a rant on the ad account structure and why one was better than the other and stuff like that. I'm just mostly going to give you an understanding. I'm going to show you the account in just a second, but I'm going to give you an understanding of how we go through things in our framework. Okay, let me hop on the account so I can show you. So this is basically the ad account. Once again, spent on the 25th, $10,000. So we spent $10,000. I think we spent an extra maybe $1,000 or $2,000 on Google, and then we generated basically $28,000 in sales. So the break even for this company is around 1.45 to 1.5, including like Stripe fees and stuff like that. And then we basically achieved, I think, what's the calculation there? Let's just quickly do it together. We basically, generated 28,000. We spent around, let's say, 12,500. Yeah, so like a 2.2 to 2.1 to 2.3, I'm not sure exactly. MER, which is MER is basically marketing efficiency ratio, which is basically the business ROAS. For every dollar the business spends, how much does it come back? So what is the discrepancy between this 1.8 and this like 2.24 or 2.3? So first of all, this is kind of like under reporting a little bit, so it's actually not a true like 1.8 ROAS. It's much closer to 2, if not over that. And so the discrepancy between the 2x ROAS, which is what we get on the Facebook ad account, compared to like the 2.3 business ROAS, is, you know, that 0.3 is email marketing and it's some organic and stuff like that. So although this would actually still be profitable for us, we truly believe, based on data and like track record, that this is higher. It's more closer to 2. Okay, so this of course is a brand that has a 72% margin, somewhere around there, and it just it's actually over 70%. Excuse me, for this client it's over 70%, and so they have good margins. And this is what happens, you know, when you put everything in place. You have a winning product market fit, good creatives, a good structure, a good business, and plus you have good margins. You know, you can scale with just a 2x ROAS, and that's kind of the beauty of you know, working also with these types of businesses. Okay, that's what you know, that's what we're doing right now. And of course, I mean, if we would have spent, you know, instead of 10,000, we would have spent like 8,000. This number would, the actual true ROAS would probably be closer to like 2.5, right? Which is still quite good. But we always have a rule whenever we run and we scale companies, is that when we set a target. And so if our target is that the business overall needs to generate 3 MER, so every dollar that we spend, $3 the business needs to generate back is $3, then that is the proportion we will respect. And so if we do a 3.5, it means that we're not spending enough, right? Because we could be acquiring more customers. And if we're getting to, you know, if we're getting a lower MER like 2.5, it means that we're overspending, because we probably still need to optimize a couple of things. Hopefully that makes sense. But let's talk about the account. Let me just refresh so you know this is real. Once again, no fake guru stuff over here, just real accounts. But yeah, this was basically the spend then. Let's see, like yesterday, since it was like a higher day. I'm literally just checking it with you. Yeah, like slightly higher, 1.86, over $11,000 in spend. Now, as you can see here, like the account is still like getting warmed up. Not getting warmed up. I meant to say the account has a very simple infrastructure. Not sure why I said it's getting warmed up. But it has a very simple infrastructure. So we basically scale. We try to scale with, like, of course, early Black Friday, which is like a CBO campaign, or that we were scaling. But this is actually also a campaign that we really use for scaling. And then we do also a bunch of retargeting, especially because we're in a period where it's a very it's kind of like a retargeting period, right? During these sale periods, whenever we're running early Black Friday sales, etc., we're kind of like always kind of getting the retargeting game on our next level. The also other reason is that we've scaled this retargeting this much is because we're also getting quite a lot of traffic from their organic side, and so we're kind of capturing all the demand, and it's working quite well. These numbers are not 100% accurate, so take them with a grain of salt. And you know, the proof that what I'm saying is real is because you've seen the Shopify, and then you've also seen the ad spend. And so that's basically the and also we would have never scaled and spent this much if it wasn't worth it for us. That alone would be the proof, right? And so very simple infrastructure. One thing that I do want to note is that as you can see here, and this was like also for the past, we do run ABOs. I believe also this Black Friday is an ABO campaign. Actually, I know that for a fact. And then we basically also have an ACS for scaling, as I said before. So also this is an ABO. Now, once again, I told you when I was over here on the account that typically we do run CBOs, but I've also noticed one other thing other than what I mentioned over here, is that when when a client comes to us and they have a pretty nurtured brand, and when this client came to us, they already like 2 years old, or 1.5 to 2 years old, and they had already an established account, and they were mostly doing ABO. Now, yes, you can actually shift the entire ad account, but we've noticed that just ABO was kind of working better than CBO, and we kind of kept it like that. Could we retest it and could it maybe do better? Sure, but at this stage we're not in the position of doing that, and so we kept it ABO because it's scaling quite well and things are quite profitable, as you saw the results with your own eyes. Okay, so this is the structure that we're using. Whether it's an ABO or CBO, we don't actually care. What we care about is that each ad set that we test is either a creative test or a marketing angle. Okay, so sorry, not a creative test, a creative concept like a UGC or a B-roll or image ad, stuff like that, or a marketing angle, or a mix of both. So this is typically how we want to establish our ad account. We spend 80% of our time doing these two things, and we spend 20% of our time doing these two things. And so this is basically the ad set and how we think about creating ad sets. So the first scenario is that we each ad set, like all these that you're seeing, is either a winning angle or plus a winning creative concept. So it's basically, let's just say the back pain is the winning angle, and UGC style like AI UGC scripts are the winning creative concept. Then we would basically do that back pain plus combine it with a UGC AI creative concept, right? So once again, we want to spend 80% of our time on ad sets and angles and creative concepts that we already know are working. Especially, we do it either way, but especially if it's during off season, or sorry, what am I saying today? When it's during the holidays, where we already know that we can't really spread the budget too thin and test while we are in scaling mode. We have to triple down 10x, 100x on what we already know is working in the market and what is working for us specifically. If you hear some weird noises, there's like they're doing some jobs upstairs. So the next thing that we do as an ad set is like winning angle plus new creative concept. And so this is still a good indication that probably what we're going to do is going to work, but maybe instead of just testing the same creative concept like UGC, we maybe test it with like a GIF, or a GIF before and after, or a ASMR type of video with the sound effects, or maybe a podcast style video, right? These are all different and new creative concepts. And how do we come up with like these new ideas? We basically come up with like these new creative concepts by just literally funnel hacking and using tools like Ultra. This is what we do. We spend a lot of time here. We funnel hack competitors. We come up with new ideas, and then we take inspiration from what is already working in the marketplace right now. Okay, so let me just go back over here. And then, this is what we do 80% of the time. And then 20% of the time, when we want to go outside the box, we test a new marketing angle, which is still really, really important to do, because you want to keep on testing new angles, because maybe this 20% test where we spend 20% of our resources is actually going to net us 80% of our income next month, because it's a winning angle. We didn't test it before and it's just resonating with the market. And then we like launch it with a new creative concept as well. Or if you want to be a little more conservative, new marketing angle with an already winning creative concept. Like for example, this one, the UGC AI video was working very, very well for us. Well, we get that same creative concept, but we just test a new angle with it, right? So hopefully this makes sense, but this is the foundation of how we scale. Most of our clients are doing CBO campaigns for scaling, and I did a whole video on that. But in this example, this client is a lot more ABO and ACS, as you saw in the ad account. Okay, let's go over what is working well for this account. Specifically. So we noticed that these are basically this is first of all the distribution of ads and images. A lot of people kind of like estimate the power of image ads, but they work. If you know how to do them, if you know how to test them, if you know how to push them out in a quick and with a quality and a quick way, you can really crack the code. A lot of people are just not taking advantage of them. So these are our actual real proportions. So 45% is image ads, 54% is videos. So what works? What have we seen work on the account? Reaction videos work very, very well, just because of the nature of the product, which I didn't actually show you yet. So I'm going to show you some not I told you already, they're not competitors. They're just brands that kind of like sell similar thing. And I'm going to show you. Reaction videos fit well in the industry. Raw UGC videos. And by the way, I'm going to show you some examples. So stick until the end. UGC mashups, putting all the UGC videos together. B-rolls work very, very well, having like AI voiceovers as well, or normal voiceovers, and just having a bunch of B-rolls so people see how the product works, looks, etc. And then for images, GIFs work very, very well, and before after images. So this is what we've noticed. I'm going to show you some examples, and then I'm going to bring you through exactly how we actually end up partnering with creators in basically our creator process in just a second. But before I do that, let me jump over here. I do have some examples to show you. So let me just take this off. Let me show you a couple of things here. Okay, so these are basically some ads. So this is, once again, these are just some competitors that not competitors, not direct competitors, just as I said, people like that sell a similar concept, and we really like the way that they were portraying their ads. So I'm going to show you 3 different ads because this is what we're doing for this client and what is working very, very well. Okay, so let me show you the video.
It's Marley. This is so cute. It looks literally just like him. This is every dog mom's and every dog owner's dream. Like, this is so soft and comfy and cute. You guys have to check out these sweaters from Crown and Paw.
So very simple. I mean, this is kind of like a very simple UGC video, but it's like direct to the customer. Speaking direct to the customer, showing the puppy, right? It hooks people, and it's also kind of very like pretty raw, exciting and stuff like that. So we've leveraged this type of video, and it worked very well for us as well. This is another type, which is just literally a before and after, as I was explaining before. So literally showing the result, and you can do this with any company, right, or any brand in any industry. You can have before and afters. This is of course a Black Friday promotion, but why I'm showing you this because. And basically, one other thing that we did is that we added basically a line in the middle that divided the before and after, so people could like literally see the difference. And also we did it with a GIF mode. So we did an animation where the line in the middle went from basically left to right, and they could see the difference of before and after, kind of like with this concept, but animated with a GIF. So this works very well. As I said, 45% of our ads are image ads and GIFs. And then this is another example, which it's like probably our top winning video creative, and the style of it. Just take a look. So basically, it's reaction videos, is raw, real reaction videos. Like all of these, like you can be the best marketer in the world and still like, even if it's fake, it looks real. And most of these are actually real because what they do is that they ask their customers to record, you know, the reaction video of the person they gifted, right? And some of these of course are not real, but as long as it looks authentic and real, and it really actually does in these examples, you're good to go, you're golden. And so these are the types of ads that we are really running and testing, just so you know, and they're working quite well for us. Okay, let's get back over here. And let me show you how we come up with, how we actually do B-rolls. And B-rolls, by the way, is like, this is an example of B-roll. This is like all different scenes, right? This is one scene, this is another B-roll scene, this is another B-roll scene. Like all of these we get in a systematic way and in a very cheap way as well. And so what we do is that we partner with creators. We share storyboards, we share example of winning ads, and then we tell them to do a specific, you know, we share it. This is just an example of a document that we share that gives them specific frames with comments. And you know, if we were to send this to a creator, we would refer to them and say, okay, you need to do B-roll 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. They would know what they need to do because we give them visual representations of what we want them, like how we want their mood to be, what we want them to do with the product, etc., etc. So you get my point. So you give them inspiration, and then you reach out to a bunch of people, and you ask them, you send them this document, and basically they will be able to just send you 15 to 20 B-rolls. That's typically the number that we do, and then you put them all together, and then you can create your own storyline. We also noticed that having, you know, a traditional way of doing UGC is basically going back to this concept where it's just like literally the creator speaking. And so this is like a standard UGC video, no B-rolls, no cut, no all that stuff. And so we basically onboard the creator, give them a training. This is kind of the same thing, training them on the scripts and the framework of the video, and then we just have them receive the final UGC video. Very simple process. We don't overcomplicate it, but we do have, like, I'm going to show you actually an example of a proven framework, or sorry, a proven script that we send over, just so you know how it looks. Let me just open it up over here. Demo command center. And so if it's loading, yeah, so basically we do it like this. Storyboards, we go over here. Yeah, so this is like a nicotine product. I think it's like just a demo. And so we send them like a specific hook, problem, pain, how to agitate the pain, failed solution, maybe something they tried in the past. Usually customers try in the past. The solution, which is the product, features, benefits, and like call to action, right? So this is just an example of a more longer storyboard. Probably like a 1 or 2 minute video because it's longer. And then we give them like a framework. We don't script anything. We just give them a framework of the video. So we do this across, as you see, multiple times. These are shorter, which also work very well. And yeah, this is, hopefully you get the point here. Okay, so this is a very simple process. Overall, let me just read here. Overall, the ads that worked for us have a very authentic and raw feel, as I said before. They are not overly produced, and if they are overly produced, there's still a major element that is human and just natural and raw and authentic, right? Just imagine, just know one thing, that we're in the skeptical era, so, you know, it's not like 2000, 2010, like we're in the very skeptical era. People know that there's a lot of scammers out there, a lot of e-commerce companies that scam people, and so we have to be as true and raw as possible. Okay, let's actually quickly go over the landing page structure so we can take a look at what we have been modeling for our own client, because these two companies have pretty much spot on the structure that we're using for this client. So let me just go over here. This is just one example. Now what they're doing here is that it's a very simple and personalized kind of like product. And this is probably the value of the entire personalization. And what we also do with our client, there's a personalization aspect. And so, you know, the general, right? This is basically the general. I like how they have a lot of different examples of dogs that people can just go in and see. This is an added value, and what we also kind of modeled with our own client, this personalization aspect where you can choose the size, choose the framing. Either way, like whether you're selling a personalized product or not, make sure that you have, if you do have a personalization aspect, like a gift or some wording that you can add, some engraving, it's always going to be a lot more of a high perceived product compared to maybe not having a personalization. Okay, so I like this, how that if you select, you can basically, your order will skip the queue, and your artist will basically, there's like a priority shipping, I guess, or prioritization. And then basically this is the rest of the structure is quite simple. How it works, it explains how it works. We have like a us versus them kind of thing with social proof, and then a bunch of UGC people over here with videos and reactions, and it's fun and it's cool. 34,000 reviews, etc. And nothing. This is basically, of course, FAQ section at the end. This is basically a very similar structure of what we've seen, of what we've kind of modeled for our own client. This other company has actually, I think, a better process because it brings you through the journey. And so you basically hop on here. Sure, there's like some explanations of how things work in a very neat way. FAQ section. A bunch of like social proof, a lot of reviews, all good. And by the way, like before I move on, this review section, because of their nature of the product, the most important thing that they can do here is actually showcase like the dogs and the pictures and the before and afters, because it's the nature of the product. What I do like about this is that there's a sequence, so it's very gradual. So you can say next, and then you can basically decide, let me see what's going on here. You can decide the background color, and it will change over here. All these things are super, super cool. And then, of course, you choose the frame, right? Sorry if you can hear the background noise. It's very noisy. And then you can choose next, and then you can basically check out pet name. Brad is the pet name, whatever. And so you get the point. So this is basically the structure that we're using. Very, very clean design. At the end of the day, this is a product that will kind of sell itself. So we don't need like we don't need a landing page that a supplement brand would require. A supplement brand, if they're selling a vitamin, right, or some sort of supplement, skincare, beauty, all these things maybe need a lot more explanation, a lot more social proof. Not necessarily social proof, but like scientific studies and backgrounds. More of like a page like this one, Scandinavian. So this is, for example, like a hair loss brand. And they basically, if I just click on this product, I did a video about this yesterday, I believe. It's a lot more, it's longer form. There's like, of course, like before and afters, we have them here. Like there's scientific studies, there's ingredients. Like it's a lot more complicated, right? All of this stuff is required to have a conversion on this page and based on the product. Okay, that's basically it for this video. I hope you got some value from it. I did want to go over a quick video, but at the same time kind of go in depth on our process, how to find creators, how to structure the page and what we've done, distributions between things that worked for us in the account, and then of course the ad account structure. And that's basically it. You need, the most important thing of course is marketing angles, creatives, all that stuff is really, really important, but this will never work. All of that will not matter if you don't have some sort of product market fit, because the product market fit will determine how much you can scale in the first place, and then marketing angles, creatives will really make scaling a lot more profitable and easier. That's how it works. Hopefully you got some value from this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next one. On a side note, before I end it off here, if you actually own an e-commerce business and you want your business and your brand to be audited, we can just hop on a call, hop on a free strategy session with myself or one of my team members, and we can pretty much have a conversation about your roadmap towards next year and how perhaps you can reach your goals. The conversation is very laid back. It's honestly just to understand if there's an opportunity for us to do even business together one day. Okay? With no further ado, thank you once again. And who knows, maybe see you in the next masterclass.